use the local recordings?
No, that's a lot of work.
That's a lot of work. He's got to spice stuff together.
But eventually we're gonna have to, because there's some I feel like some solid content that we could be missing out on. Because sometimes it takes me at least 120 seconds to realize what y'all said, and I'm laughing, and I miss the new stuff, and then I'm oh, let me catch up, and then sometimes I completely get ADHD and my brain just goes whoop, and then y'all are you agree, and I'm and then I have no idea what I'm agreeing to.
Yeah, no, I don't agree. I could have sworn Jason just said Snape is the worst character ever. So
listen, I feel bad because sometimes I watch a show back and I can see it because I know myself. I'm oh, yep, that's where right there in my eyes, I can see the moment my soul left my body and I am thinking about something else. So, I can't think of a one sentence review, but that's fine.
You could totally think of this. What were you going to say though? That
we're talking now. Okay, so what I was thinking is you know how in Shazam,
unfortunately.
No, the first Shazam. First of all, Shazam is good.
I'm joking. Go on before you get sidetracked.
Okay, so in Shazam, in the first one, he's talking about would you want to fly or would you want to be invisible? And it's and that really tells you if you're the villain or a good guy or whatever.
Yes.
And I was always either I'd rather have super speed so I could just run around. But then I realized that that's kind of being invisible. And I feel like I would totally be a villain. I would, but I think I might be an anti-hero, maybe Magneto. So it's maybe not good for you, but
depending on your continuity, Magneto can either be a misunderstood anti-hero or a straight terrorist, depending on
which you can
right.
At the same time. I feel I mean,
nah, there's definitely someone who's fighting a good fight and terrorism.
Also, I feel like the term of the anti-hero is not a thing anymore.
Yeah,
it's not really no such thing. It's just we like characters that do villainous things that we justify, so we go anti before the hero. Usually it's just the person's the hero that does fucked up shit.
Yeah,
to me, the definition of an anti-hero is the Punisher. But people were oh no, it's someone that's conflicted. No. The Punisher kills MFers regardless of what it is, but he's still a hero because he's killing bad people. That's what I think an anti-hero is. I don't think it's this.
I agree.
So Magneto would never be an anti-hero. He would either be a hero sometimes when he's with the X-Men, or he would just be a villain when he's not with the X-Men.
Yes. That's how I would be. That's how I'd be. Catwoman. Sometimes I'd be on Batman's side, and sometimes I'd just be robbing banks.
But Catwoman's a villain.
I don't even think Catwoman. I don't even think Catwoman's a villain because Catwoman, she does crime, yes, but she's not out there murdering people. She's not she goes and steals stuff from rich people. That's not wrong. Go ahead and do that.
I'll go. Yeah. I'll let you live.
Wealth is obviously a capitalist concept, and it's obviously brought by white supremacy. She's just doing the right thing. Just saying.
Yeah. For real. They're not gonna miss those jewels. They have a whole nother safe.
They're still rich.
It's fine. And if it's if the rich people would just be grandmother's jewels, okay, then I will just get the ones that you got down at Bergdorf's this weekend. Just label it for me, and I'll skip that. And,
really?
And I'll get this Swarovski crystal or whatever the fuck.
I'm only liberating the blood diamonds from your greedy capitalist hands because you didn't care that this $300 million necklace, was made by slaves, and I'm just using it because I'm poor and I need the money more.
Yeah. Not using it for villainous things. I'm not trying to
I'm going to
host a villain gala. I just want some nice things in my life.
Put at least 3% of the proceeds into affordable housing.
And all these things, there's so many incarnations of these characters. It's hard, but from my recollection, Catwoman just steals shit because she likes the thrill of stealing, and it just happens to be diamonds is her favorite thing to steal. That whole giving to the prostitutes in the quarter, I think that's a later incarnation of her lineage.
That's
that didn't start
a
off
Frank
that
Miller
way.
Thing.
Right.
Yeah, she
was just stealing for the fun of it.
She learned the error of her ways. And she said, you know what? This is just look, the whole point of this whole conversation was
Speed will make you a villain.
Feel like I would be a total bad guy.
So
like, if I had powers, I just don't think I think what do they say? Absolute power corrupts absolutely.
Absolutely, yeah.
I think that I would fall in that category.
So when I win the lottery, I need to make sure that I only give you a monthly stipend rather than give you a whole lump sum of cash, because you'll be like, by the way, I'm a straight villain now. You gave me $5 million. I'm going to use this to make homeless people fight each other for food.
Yeah. What was that movie with Justin Timberlake where time was currency? In time. Yeah. And like, remember he gives like years to his friend and like within 12 hours his friend is dead.
Yeah.
That would probably be, oh God. That movie is kind of rough, but I feel like his mom was someone really famous too.
It was Olivia Wilde, wasn't it?
Yeah, I don't know. They all look alike.
Also segues into the conversation. Yeah, all the white women look alike to me. We've all seen, or most of us have seen the new trailer for Blue Beetle, right? I know Jason is a huge fan. I was pretty, lukewarm about it. It could be bad, it could be worse. I don't know. I don't care. But at the end of the trailer, Mr. Jorge Lopez, comedian, extraordinaire, America's poet, Jorge Lopez. He throws out this like innocuous joke that says, he goes, Batman's a fascist. And I'm like, that's low hanging fruit, but people would probably think that. And move on from there, right? Well, of course we can't have nice things. The internet's like up in arms about that one statement. And the idea is like, yeah, Batman is kind of a fascist. I think the Watchmen explained that pretty well. It's not like even really a debate anymore. Really, he's just a nice fascist.
What is Merriam-Webster's definition of fascism?
I was going to say, I think we probably need to
that's what I need to know,
and then attribute the attributes to Batman, because I kind of
that just gets kind of thrown around so much now.
Yeah,
that
it doesn't mean anything anymore. Right.
Yeah, people say communist, people say fascist, people say socialist, and I'm just all like, it all.
Batman's certainly not a communist,
because I was ready for this conversation. I have the definition. A political philosophy, movement, or regime that exalts nation and often race above the individual, that stands for a centralized autocratic government headed by a dictatorial leader, severe economic and social regimentation, and forcible suppression of opposition. The second definition is a tendency toward or actually exercise of strong autocratic or dictatorial control. That is the Webster's, Merriam-Webster definition of fascism.
So Batman aligns more along with the second definition, because he is very dictatorial when it comes to, especially the rest of the Bat family. He says, I do what I say, not what I do kind of guy. Is he a conservative? Boy wouldn't
know that.
Yeah,
but the father wouldn't know how he treats Robins.
He wouldn't know that. He would. I'd imagine he's saying it because of the way that we always say things. Batman dresses up in a black suit and beats people up. He's a fascist. That's the whole thinking beyond that line, right? He's not making a huge political statement. Right.
So it's a joke.
It's a joke.
Yeah.
That people, because even here on this show, we've made fun of Batman for his stance on crime, which is to dress up like a bat and beat up the mentally, neurodivergent.
Mm-hmm.
Right?
Yeah.
Whether or not that is actual fascism, who cares?
I don't think so. I mean, because I don't know. I think I might. A little bit more wine in me, and maybe just like maybe we talk about this.
Maybe Jason finish your comparisons to his fascisms. Okay, how we treat Robins, maybe a bit fascist. Okay,
he may be a bit fascist to the Robins. I mean, is he outwardly like socially fascist? I don't think so. I think for the most part, Bruce Wayne and Batman are very socialist leaning. Not as much as like say Green Arrow or somebody like that, but he's not like out there like promoting a conservative agenda. He just wants to stop crime, which is kind of dumb because you can't stop crime unless you stop the social and economic reasons for that. But in response to this, however, I would say that George Lopez isn't even talking about Batman. He's talking about a specific Batman who murders people, which is the Ben Affleck Batman, who's out there enforcing laws that he feels need to be enforced by death, which is the Zack Snyderverse. And Zack Snyder is fairly right-leaning, and his idea of a Batman is more fascistic than most traditional takes.
Well, but
I'm not saying that it means fascist. I'm just saying it has more fascist-like tendencies.
Well, I agree, but I think, and I'll point out the low-hanging fruit in the situation. People would argue from what we saw in Batman and Superman movie, where Bruce Wayne's ideology, his ideology of like his fear of Superman is because of fascism. He believes that Superman can't be that good and that he will corrupt and subjugate the whole world. So his job is to take out that quote unquote potential threat of, in the movie they don't call it fascism, but that potential threat of a conqueror, all encompassing ruler. So
I mean,
can a fascist fight a fascist? Is that like a thing? Okay. I'm not good with history, so I ask these questions because it's general.
I think the problem with me when I think of like fascism and totalitarianism, all that stuff, is I'm thinking more on like a global scale.
Yeah,
and this is more like
one person versus
one person, one town. You know, Gotham is very almost like an island. It does become an island. You know, like but. So whenever you're kind of reading the Merriam-Webster's definition, I'm like, oh, shit, I kind of treat my family like that a little bit sometimes. So, I do not want anyone to call me fascist.
Well, let's just say your household isn't a democracy. Don't vote for hey kids, everybody have a vote for whether or not you go to school tomorrow.
Right.
Sometimes true. I have to say, I'm sorry I phrased that like a question because it wasn't. That was a courtesy.
I can see that.
So, you can say no, but your actions will be yes.
Nah.
Right.
I'm just kidding.
Right.
No, but I think, when I usually think about terms like that, I think more like big scale. So when you talk about Batman, when it comes to Bat Family, absolutely, he's like there is there's no give. He's unforgiving. He's he's a dick.
He's a dick.
And then and then he gets a little bit better when it comes to the Justice League, and then and then when it comes So, but I agree. He's more afraid of Superman. That's why. Those big powers, he likes to keep a nice little thumb on and a nice little, here's how I stop you in my bat belt. And just in case, but then that is kind of,
I was going to say, as you
now I'm saying it. Now as we're talking it through, I kind of see.
I can see how the father would say that, because in his eyes, Superman's the all-time good, and the guy that killed and stopped Superman was the fascist dude that was jealous. So yes. From the street level view, Batman does look like a fascist.
But that's also but that's also why I love it whenever DC animated movies are really good at doing like alternate universes. So you actually remember the movie where Superman lands in Russia?
Oh yeah, Red
Sun. Yeah. Oh, that was such a good movie.
And even in that one, Batman was still a communist. He just didn't want Superman to lead.
So good to know that Batman's personality literally never changes.
It's odd to have that like in the movie, because typically when we do the elsewhere stories, it's usually Superman's the fascist. Like Injustice,
Superman is complete. Which is the laziest thing about about writing for Superman. It's like, oh yeah, the guy with all the power becomes the bad guy. Yeah, that's why we read Superman. It's because the guy with all the power doesn't become the bad guy.
Right.
Yeah.
But of course, in the real world, the guy with all the power would be like our super dictator, and we'd be all a bunch of plucky, powerless people in bat suits fighting for what's right.
I mean, we're pretty much that now, and we don't have the bat suit. So
or
costs money for that, and we don't have that. So
I want a refund on life. That is not even fair. No, but yeah, when we talk more about Batman, I'm gonna watch a couple of those alternate universes because those are my favorites. Alternate timelines.
We also got into an argument on the chat with well, no, I didn't get an argument. I got an argument with Aaron and John about, and this is, I know I posed this question to you, Jason, about whether or not the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles could fight the Bat Kids, or if not, whether they could, who would win in that fight. And I think, and for me, it's always hands down Bat Kids, just because I'm a fan, and that's it. That's the only reason I can say.
Well, the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, they're actual ninjas, and they're trained, and
yeah,
I don't know. And
I say it's 50-50. It's 50-50 either way, because yes, they're ninjas. They've been trained since birth to be fighters. They work together as a team, but sometimes they don't work together as a team.
But I feel like Raphael would murder anyone. I think he's just kind of waiting for
No, I'm kidding. Go ahead.
Oh no, that's it. So I think if it was like a 1-on-1, so if it was like Raph versus, I don't know, anyone other than Damien, like he would just.
So hold on, what's the Bat Family lineup are we going to use?
Which Bat Kids?
It's the Robins: Nightwing, Jason Todd, Tim Drake, and Damien.
Okay, so no Barbara,
just 4v4, all dudes. And I would actually, say that the Bat Family have 2 Roths, whereas the Ninja Turtles only have the 1, because they have Jason and Damien, who are both slightly like unhinged, slightly the ones that are really to take it to that next level.
Yeah, but
I think,
I think
Damien gets waxed.
So the only reason why I'm saying Raph is because he's going to have more dexterity. He's more durable. These are still kids at the end of the day. And I know that Raph is a teenager, but he's still a mutant teenager.
He's a mutant turtle. Yeah.
So he's a mutant turtle. And so he's got a hard shell, and he's
a hard, crusty chocolate shell.
Could it be 1v4? Absolutely not. But I think at the end of the day, 1v1 on anyone except for Damien, because Damien's fucking crazy, and crazy always gives you that bigger edge. But
I'm gonna go.
I mean, because you like Damien, you're propping Damien, but Damien's taking L's to everybody except for Tim. Tim is the only one that Damien beat. Like Nightwing beat him, Jason Todd has beaten him. Like, so Damien,
and the only reason he doesn't beat Tim is because Tim lets him win.
It's just in my gut, guys. It's just in my gut. I just feel it in my gut. I can't explain it. It's just like it doesn't make sense.
When I first posted,
that's my explanation too,
Lisa.
When you first posted, I was like, "Oh, Team Robbins would slap him." But then I started thinking after I saw the YouTube video, and I'm like, he didn't really convince me. But as I started like letting it run around in my mind a little more, I started just thinking up like the matchups and the opportunities to like maneuver through this fight. It's going to come down to, being completely honest, if Jason and Damien will follow orders. If they follow orders, the Robin family wins. If they don't, because we know it's probably 80% chance they won't, the Robin family will take the L quickly, because Tim is not going to be able to hold it by himself. So his intellectual prowess is going to be a non-starter there. Nightwing is not going to be able to hold it by himself without being able to use the environment and use the team around him. And then that leaves Jason Todd and Damon, who are probably the best individual fighters. But if the other two get iced, now it's 4-on-2, and then they're going to get iced. So, but if they stay in command of Nightwing or follow Nightwing's lead, they'll definitely probably win. They'll inch that out just because they have the gadgetry and have all the other weapons that can allow them to get an advantage over their strength. Where the Turtles will have the raw ability of the strength, the ninja prowess, and the teamwork from working together already. But like we've seen Bat gadgetry beat Superman and Wonder Woman and the Flash. Like we've seen gadgetry equal the playing field. So if they play by the rules and follow Nightwing, they'll win. If they don't, that's gonna be a walk in the park for the Ninja Turtles at that point.
I'm gonna say something controversial here, and you guys can totally not like this. Nightwing takes all the turtles by himself. Easy.
Okay, so I was actually thinking that. I was
Nightwing beats all the turtles by himself. And then if he does get heavy, if he gets a little bit like put him out, he goes, Jason pulls out the gat, black.
It just depends, like the Nightwing from the DC live action show.
Brandon Twithis from Titans.
Yes, Titans.
Yeah.
He's badass. He's badass.
Best thing about that show.
Oh, definitely. Just that opening scene of him just like rubbing his face against the broken glass. I was like, I love this guy. So maybe it's just like, depends on which Nightwing we're talking about. I think Nightwing in his own respect is badass. He's one of the greatest. He's one of the
greater fighters in the DC universe.
In the DC universe, yes, I agree with you. But I agree with what Jason's saying. You're talking about it being a team.
Yeah.
And they're brothers, and they're used to fighting together, and they don't like. I mean, I know Raph does have a bit of an ego, but he still mostly defers to his brother. He will listen to his brother.
Yeah,
and so I gotta give it to the Ninja Turtles.
Because here's even the matchup I'm thinking, because it'd be Leonardo versus Nightwing. I feel like that's a draw initially for the first four running. The problem comes, let's be real, it's going to be Donatello versus Tim. I feel like that's a draw for the most part.
I feel like they would stop and start playing Yu-Gi-Oh cards.
That's what I'm saying. That's a draw.
Oh, you guys are fighting?
Best friend.
It'd be Ralph versus Damien, which at that point I would give the slight edge to Ralph, but I think because of Damien's talent and skill, he could pull something. The issue would be Michelangelo versus Jason Todd, and not because I think Jason Todd can beat Mikey. I think Mikey will frustrate Jason Todd so much that then he gets out of the role of the playing as a team and goes rogue on it. And then Damien will see the rogue action and go, oh, F this. Sorry, Dick. Sorry, Grayson. I'm going to go fly. And then it all falls apart at that point. Because Jason Todd will be somewhere stupid and get like wrapped up in Mikey's crap. And then eventually Ralph will take the edge over Damien, and then the rest will crumble after that.
I have a different scenario how the Turtles can win, because lineup Leo, Nightwing 2. Ralph is versus Jason, and Donatello is versus Tim, and Mikey is versus Damien, because Mikey's technically the younger brother.
Same thing. He'll frustrate Damien.
But the thing is,
get out of character.
My thing is, Damien would not take Mikey seriously, right? He'd be like, oh, I could totally wax this Joker over guy, and then not realizing that Mikey actually has skills. And that's how he ends up actually beating Damien, because he can fucking fight. He's the one that lives the longest.
The last Ronin. Yeah.
Jason,
and that's how.
Jason, I appreciate how much of a fan you are. I know you're a diehard for the Robins. I get it. But listen, if the movies have taught us anything, the Fast and Furious said it. Family is everything.
That's what I'm saying.
Family will win.
Family.
Though the Robins now in the more continuity are more family, they consider some brothers as well, even though they're not all biological brothers. You know, definitely Bruce Wayne considers Nightwing, Jason, and Tim his sons, if not as much as Damien is. But you know, they're a found family. And so is the Fast and Furious.
Listen.
So by that Fast and Furious logic, the Jones family is more stronger.
He's got Mia. He's got his girl, Michelle Rodriguez. Ooh, who we can talk about tonight.
Yes, we'll talk about that as well.
Good segue. Yeah.
Yeah. To the actual show that we actually do, where we review things.
Yeah. How many viewers do we have? We have 6 viewers.
I don't even know. We have 3. Hey.
3. That's like everybody in my house.
Even better. A pleasure to entertain them with. All right, when do you want to start, Jason? When's
in 24:30?
All right.
Jesus.
I mean, I like round half numbers. I'm like, you know.
Yeah.
I like, whole numbers, but I can work out that.
Oh, you want to start at 25? We'll start at 25. I can talk about
fine.
Harry Potter and how I don't think Hermione should be black, but
she's not
okay.
black,
Real quick, you got 30 seconds.
No. Oh, it makes Spew completely fucking ridiculous if she was black, because she's like, they're actual slaves, and Harry around like, get out of here, come on. So
that sounds like white people.
Yeah, it makes it even more problematic that she stays.
Sounds like white people.
Fuck that. These are actual slaves here, guys. They're like, oh, they like being slaves. You guys are racist. I'm going to hang out with
But they're being fed and they have a scrap of clothing. Why could they possibly be upset? They like being slaves.
Shacklebolt.
Oh my god. Hey everybody, and welcome to the Head Canon Circus podcast. If your last thing that you heard was they like being slaves, that was totally meant to be a joke. It's not our philosophy around here at the Head Canon Circus podcast. We think no one should be slaves unless I own them, because then everybody wants to hold a whip.
No.
I second that opinion.
Thank you all so very much for joining us. We have a phenomenal, one would say a proverbial role plays worth of things happening, a gamer's paradise, if you were. I didn't think of anything to say about that. But we will be reviewing Dungeons & Dragons Honor Amongst Thieves, as well as the Super Mario Brothers, or this Mario Brothers movie. They're not super in this, for today. So please stay tuned for a great, great show. And also make sure to like, share, subscribe, and also interact. If you interact, that feeds the algorithm. And the algorithm feeds my child with money. Because he's skinny. He's really skinny. He needs food.
Yeah, he likes to eat dollar bills. Put on
like
the weight.
He's really tall. He's really tall. That's on his mama's side. But of course, I could not do this without my very great co-host. I didn't think of anything today to announce you. But here, Jason, how you doing?
No, man, every week I keep thinking, like, I spend all week trying to think of like a gag that I could do when you announce me, and I have not figured it out still yet to this day. So one day, guys, I'm going to come on here with a gag and be like, yeah, it's Jason from the blah, blah, like whatever. But
boys.
Yeah.
It'd be like the whistle.
Right.
I've ever said you're the Chuck D to my Flavor Flav. Did I say that before? You're the Chuck D. Oh, I said that.
I thought so.
Maybe.
Yeah.
My black friend is just a
Flav. I feel like I did that, but
right. I was gonna be something like, oh yeah, it's me, Jason, the only one with good analysis on any of the movies ever, something like that. But I was like, oh, that'll kind of
that's not right,
Lisa. So
because personally, Lisa and I's analysis are way better than yours. That's why people watch.
True. That's why I have to say that beginning to make people believe it. So when I say nothing in foolishness, they believe. Speak it into existence, guys.
The reason that you even watch the show is because of Lisa. How you doing, Lisa?
Hi, guys. I'm doing great. Nice to see you. It's been a few weeks.
Yeah, we got busy because life happens.
Yeah.
Spring break.
It's spring break, 9 to 5. Oh, they have a documentary about Freaknik now.
I heard about that.
We're gonna have
what streaming platform is it on?
Netflix.
Ooh, okay.
Yeah. For those who don't know, Freaknik used to be which is a really terrible name for it, but it used to be a black college spring break here in Atlanta. It used to be so popular. Your parents were like, "You're not going to the city today. All them darkies are down there."
My parents would have never said that. I just want to throw that out there. Not my parents.
My parents, all them knuckleheads are down there. No, you ain't going down there.
Getting it popped, getting it loose.
Yeah, it does not exist anymore. Freaknik.
It does not exist anymore. Not here in Atlanta anymore. Yeah, which of course, a whole bunch of people come into your city to get drunk. That's sort of a problem if you don't make it a problem. I mean, New Orleans does that every year. They seem to be thriving. So why can't we? Because they're, black people in New Orleans, racist people in Georgia. So that's it.
Very narrowed that line to make it very easy there.
It's
more nuanced than that, but we'll just wait till the documentary.
There's a reason why Marta doesn't go past 285.
Don't you start on that shit. It makes me so mad. Okay, anyway, sorry.
Without further ado, a charming thief and a band of unlikely adventurers embark on an epic quest to retrieve a long-lost relic. But their charming adventure goes dangerously awry when they run afoul of the wrong people. That is what Google says about the movie Dungeons & Dragons Honor Amongst Thieves. Now, if you don't know, now you know. For everything we do a one-sentence review. And of course, ladies first, Lisa, start off with your 1 sentence review for Dungeons and Dragons: Honor Amongst Thieves.
Okay, my 1 sentence review for Dungeons and Dragons: Honor Amongst Thieves is okay. I stand corrected. Go see it.
Fair enough. Jason, hit us with your 1 sentence review.
My 1 sentence review for Dungeons and Dragons is this dungeoned up a bunch of laughs and dragged me on the adventure.
Nice. You get snaps for that.
Mine's very simple. It's a nat 20. Dungeons and Dragons, everybody. You'll get it.
Yes.
Nice,
Insider.
nice, nice.
Insider ball. All right. I know tonight we were going to try a different formula. So, guys, please, bear with us as we work this out. Because I feel like if it doesn't work, we just will all blame Jason. So, makes it easier.
That's what my dad did when he divorced my mom.
Okay.
So, divorce my mom. All right. So we're going to start off always with love when we do these reviews. So if Jason would like to jump in, and what were the pros or the best things about this movie that you enjoyed?
I have 5 pros for this.
Okay.
Yeah. So we're gonna do all 5. We're gonna do all my pros at once. So here we go.
Yeah,
all my pros at once. Firstly, this feels like it's telling a D&D story. This feels like you're playing a D&D game. That's my first pro. Second, it's funny. It's silly, it's charming, without taking away the serious moments. There are a couple of serious moments, and unlike a Marvel movie where they'll do a joke right in the between of that serious moment, they actually give it time and space to breathe. Thirdly, a ton of little references and Easter eggs that about D&D without being it nostalgia baity, right? Without going, look at that, look at that, look at that. But if you know, you can say, oh, look at that, look at that, look at that. It's great. All the performances are spot on, well done, great, even Chris Pine. And lastly, Jonathan. That's all.
Jonathan.
Just the way she says his name, it's so great. Now, we have a moment right here where we go, Lisa, do you have any rebuttals to his pros? Are you in line with it, or you think he's talking crazy about something he's mentioned?
I disagree with Chris Pine.
Do
I say that now, or do I wait?
No, we're gonna save it. We're gonna save it. Okay,
Chris Pine. So I'm just doing rebuttals, right? So I disagree.
If you have any rebuttals from his right now, without going into detail, what do you?
I think Chris Pine is probably it. Everything else I pretty much agree with.
Okay, well then let's get your pros. What are your pros about Dungeons and Dragons?
So my pro is the cast, like the actual casting. I loved it. I
feel like family.
Yeah, that's the theme of the evening, obviously. Also, this is like super nerdy, but I love the map at the very beginning and how it like showed it, and I was just like, oh yes, thank you. Love it, love it, love it. And I felt like, we were walking on the map with them. It didn't take itself too seriously, which I was a little worried about, and I love that it didn't. It was just like the perfect amount of comedy and seriousness. Michelle Rodriguez, she, in my opinion, between her and Doric, I think they stole the show. And then the ending, I thought it was just a nice little, it wasn't too long, it wasn't too short, it was just a nice little bow, and it was very good. I did not want to see this movie at all. And I was so happy it was so good.
All right, Jason, any rebuttals? Anything you're right in line, or?
I'm right in line with everything she said. I mean, like, this is going to be one of those episodes where a lot of the times we're going to agree. It's not going to be one of those.
Maybe the next one, not so much.
Yeah, maybe the next one, not so much. But this one, she's on the money.
Yeah.
All right, I guess I don't have any rebuttals. Yeah, I don't have no rebuttals. Let's see. My pros. I agree. This did feel like a dungeon master had really made and created this world, and we were going through it. the film does look like if the special effects were bad, they were going to throw those people in a dungeon, because this film actually looked really, really good, which I was really, really surprised and shocked by. The one thing I thought was a huge pro is the pacing of the movie. This is like a 2-hour long movie, and it did not feel that way at all. I actually saw it twice. I saw it with my kids, and then I went back and saw it with Coach Boo, and both times I was like, man, this movie just rolls.
Oh yeah, Jason, I'm going to
fine. We don't have feelings. We don't have feelings. It's fine. It's fine.
Okay, well, you can make that as your rebuttal to in my car.
Okay.
I know we talked about Chris Pine, but I mean, fuck Chris Pine. Hugh Grant, man, like wow, what a performance, man.
That makes up for him being found in the bathroom with a transvestite or a person.
I don't know if it makes up for it, because if he's in, I'm not going to kink shame.
Yes.
So that's what he's into. And then I think I agree with you all. Jason hit it right on the head, like really nailed it through. The right mix of humor, drama, and action and heart, without taking away from any of those elements individually, was very well done in the movie. So, yeah, those are our pros. So
rebuttal.
All right.
You said this movie looks great, and for the most part, you are right. Except for those halflings, they were badly composited. I was like, y'all gotta try something better for this. But other than that, yes, you were absolutely
Maybe
right.
They ran out of money.
Right. Oh crap, we gotta put halflings in this.
What did Peter Jackson do? We don't have time for that. Just do this.
Maybe they had the editors from, remember whenever they had to reshoot, was it Superman versus Batman, where they had to get rid of the mustache.
Yeah.
So maybe they had the same editors.
We can't have Bradley Cooper just play a regular person. That's weird. Like,
who knows? Oh god, that shit's so funny.
He just love Dungeons and Dragons, because why take that role if you don't love Dungeons and Dragons?
Friends are
honestly.
There.
What friends?
Still. All right, Jason, what are your cons?
All right, my cons. Even though I agree with Lisa and love Michelle Rodriguez and Sophia Lillis as Holga and Dork, I don't feel like they have much of an arc, either of them, and I thought that was dumb. Dork goes and says, "Humans hate me," and we never bring it up again. That's my first con. Secondly, this is a nitpicky one because
I'm gonna rebut that con, but I'll wait till I'm gonna
let me finish first, man. I'm
gonna rebut that con. I don't mind Michelle's arc because it's subtle and it plays.
Yeah, hers is subtle.
It plays for the end. I will agree with you though. Old girl is terrible in this movie, but anyway, that's it. But I do think Michelle Rodriguez's arc is way more subtle than I think you're giving it credit for.
Yeah, well, I'm more on the line of Doric's arc rather than Michelle Rodriguez's arc, because there is a slight arc for Michelle Rodriguez's character where there is none for Doric's. So that's more, but there could be more as opposed to the other two male characters in this movie. This is the nitpicky one. Elgrin or whatever his name is, Chris Pine's character doesn't do anything that's bardic other than play a lute. If you play D&D, bards do a lot more stuff than just sit there and play lutes and tell stories. They are very, very useful magic class. In fact, when I get to play Dungeons and Dragons, play a bard. I don't know what that says about me. No, Mom, I'm not bisexual, but maybe I am. Who cares?
It's all a spectrum.
It's all a spectrum. Right? But lastly, and this is the one that I've been saying for ever now. This is Dungeons and Dragons, guys. This is supposed to be your imagination, right? And even though the Aarakocras look great, the one orc that they had looked great, the Dragonborns look very great. I need this to be the forefront of this movie. I need this to be out there, and like I need this every scene to be a cosplayer's wet dream, where they go, "Oh, that's amazing! Oh, that's amazing! Oh, that's amazing!" And they want to be this, and it's a little bit limited for someone who has played a lot of D&D, in my humble opinion. That would be my last con.
Lisa, what are your cons? What did you not care for as much in the movie?
I'm debating if I want to rebuttal him.
Ooh, I love rebuttals.
Here's
rebuttal my butt.
The thing about Doric, what's Doric's real name? Lily?
Sophia Lillis.
So Sophia Lillis and Michelle Rodriguez is nothing would have gotten accomplished without them. They literally did everything. So yes. So that's why I love them so much. But I see what you're saying, that like their stories were they were just there for plot movers when they could have had better stories. So I agree with you. However, the movie could not have existed without them. Therefore, they had a significant part. But I get what you're saying. So it's not really a rebuttal, but
I want more of them. That's what I'm saying.
Okay. Okay.
That's what I want.
And I kind of disagree with the cosplaying. I think the whole movie was a cosplayer. I mean, it felt like you're at the Ren Fest, and that's literally a cosplayer. I mean, when it comes to Dungeons and Dragons, I always kind of, in my mind, every time we've played, I've always thought of it basically just walking around Ren Fest and just seeing, all that stuff. And then you also get orcs and dragons. I personally was disappointed with how many, like, I thought there was going to be several orcs.
Yes.
Like,
more than just one.
Because that's like the biggest, that's like the thing that always, especially when it's like your first time ever playing, like you're gonna die. Like you're come up against it and they're gonna kill you. Like that's just like goblins. The rite of passage of Dungeons and Dragons. Yeah. So I would like that. Okay. So anyway, that was my only rebuttal. Here's my cons. These are also very nitpicky, but Chris Pine kept feeling like Jason Bateman to me, and I couldn't figure out if he was acting like Jason Bateman or
it was
if that was like his character, or is he always like that? Because go ahead.
Oh, I'm just speaking of Jason Bateman. I have a anecdote because apparently Jason Bateman is a huge Dungeons and Dragons fan, and he might have been cast for this movie because a guy that I played Dungeons and Dragons with used to own a comic book store, and when they started shooting Ozarks, Jason Bateman actually came in there to scout his comic book store for a location, and ended up talking to him for like 2 hours about Dungeons and Dragons.
Mm-hmm.
And that it didn't happen to me, but did happen to a guy that I know who has Dungeons and Dragons.
That means it's a lie. I mean, this is not a source. We just made it up, guys. Yeah, the guy I know that worked at a comic book store. He said Jason Bateman. I literally play Dungeons and Dragons with him every other week. All right, so like,
so it could have been written. So it could have been written for him.
Yeah,
and then I mean, it felt like Chris Pine acting like Jason Bateman. And so I mentioned this to our executive producer, my life partner, and partner in crime, Jamesa. And he said that that's just how Chris Pine acts all the time. So now I'm going to have to, he's not one of my favorite Chris's. I don't hate him. He's not, he's not Chris Pratt. But, so.
When you say he's not Chris Pratt, you mean Chris Pratt's the least favorite.
Correct.
Chris
He's literally the worst.
I can't wait to clear that up.
Yeah, the worst Chris.
He's no Chris Evans. That's what we're saying.
Yeah. He wishes he were Chris Evans. Get out of here. So that because whenever you'd have something quippy and something funny, I would laugh, and then I'd be like, kind of feels like I'm listening to Jason Bateman say this. So, but again, very nitpicky. He was still very funny, and he was very on point. But that's just for me. That's what it felt like. Okay, this scene. Right. So this is a spoiler, y'all. This is a spoiler. But this
who cares? We're spoiling it. Bam, bam.
Well,
bam,
actually,
spoil.
let me just do the other. Let me do the other one, and then we'll get to the spoiler. I wanted more of the wizard. What's his name?
I don't care. Yeah,
I wanted more of him. I thought he was very underutilized. Especially when we were talking about a Dungeons and Dragons story. I was like, what the F? Like, he literally just has like a little chunk in the middle, and then you see him again at the end. But yep. And okay, so that's it. So to the spoilery part.
Spoiler.
The last scene, whenever Chris Pine uses the tablet to bring back Michelle Rodriguez, I wanted him to just do it. I didn't want the daughter to give him permission. I didn't want the daughter to be like, it's okay, save her.
She's actually my mommy, so I don't give a crap
I
about
wanted
this
him.
shit.
I wanted him to just look at the tablet, have the flashbacks, and then save her. Mm-hmm. And then I wanted later the daughter to be like, oh my God, you lost a chance to get mom back. And then that gives the opportunity to say, no, I got the only mom you ever had. Yeah. Like, so that, I mean, like I said, very nitpicky. And that just comes from, I think, years of being a romance reader and just like knowing when to set those like sweet little moments. And so I just think they missed the mark on that. But
rebuttal. Actually, it's not a rebuttal. It's a a-hole comment. How was they going to bring the mother back when she was burnt up?
Magic. Duh.
Yeah, magic.
Oh, okay. All right. I mean, you guys do this more than I do, but that was the first thing I kept thinking the whole movie was like, they burnt her body. Her body's like bones and like it's no skin, it's just bones. Like,
look,
or ashes.
All Dungeons and Dragons is Deus Ex Machina after Deus Ex Machina. It doesn't matter. Like,
okay.
My rebuttal is that there doesn't need to be romance. They're platonic friends, Lisa.
No. I'm not talking about romance. Like, I didn't want them to be romantically involved. I just meant like from years of reading happily ever after. Yeah. Like that's
right.
I honestly like your version of that way better than what they present to us.
That's how you know.
Either way, I was still freaking. Me and Jaren were like crying.
Oh yeah, I cried. Definitely, I cried during that movie.
And Jaren. I look over to Jaren, and Jaren's got tears running down his face. And I'm like, what are you doing to me? And I'm crying. He's crying. We're both crying. It was not a good look, guys.
Sissies. Now my time for cutting up joking. Can you still use the word sissy? Is that like a bad thing now?
No. Edit that out.
Okay. Hold on.
Edit that out.
If you're not even talking about someone who's
talking
gay,
about me being a cisgender man, I'm sissy in that way.
Okay. And I'm just asking because I feel like I stumbled across like a bunch of old school insults, and I was like, oh man, I forgot when people used to like my mother would say things like, "Oh, he got some sugar in his tank."
Oh, my dad.
When I was a kid, I never knew what that was. And when I got older, I was like, "Oh yeah, that means he." But like, I didn't know if like I remember using sissy was like a term of like,
no, they were definitely
stop being a punk.
No. That was never stop being a punk. It meant stop being gay.
Yep.
Oh well, I meant like when they were using it to like other men that they knew that weren't gay. Like it was usually in a moment when somebody was acting like a punk. Now, if they're using it against someone who's gay, then yes, I mean, obviously. Anyway, it's just a very weird word.
So the question is, no, we do not say that anymore.
Like, I think I'm gonna bring it back, man. I think I'm gonna die on this hill. I'm joking, guys.
No. I'm all for reclaiming terms, but that's not what we can reclaim, guys.
Yeah. All right, so going on to my cons. Yes, sissy is a con. We don't use that word anymore. That's one. No, joking. Yes. The main villain, bald head shorty, didn't do it for me. I'd rather they wish they would have like figured out a way to give Hugh Grant the powers, which would have made it more appealing when like, you know, how she got worked at the end. It would have been more appealing if it was Hugh Grant's body getting worked like that. But she didn't do it for me. The red wizard thing, I feel like there's a lot of meat left on that bone, which maybe is going to be used for sequels. But I felt like in this one, you never made them feel like the threat that they were always proportioning them to be. Because, I mean, yeah, she put some hands on them, but they're supposed to be bad at their job. So, but she got beat by the ones that were bad. It was like Ant-Man beating Kang. It was like, hold on, how is she supposed to be this powerful? And she got worked by the guy who reformed, that said he didn't want to do it no more. The exile, like the bad magician. Like it just seemed very reluctant that she just got worked by 4 people in the middle of a square, and she was supposed to be so powerful. So I thought that just didn't do anything for me. But they had to wrap up the movie, so I get it. And one of my points were to be like Jason about being more fantastical, but I will go to another thing. Sophia Lillis, I think she's not a good actress in this movie or actor in this movie. And I'm watching it twice. Really, it made it come out more when I'm not wild by the things that she was doing. When you actually just watch the line delivery, and I think she was trying to play something stoic, but it just came off like stale and stiff. like Michelle Rodriguez, who plays Stoic very well, which I thought that was kind of weird too, that you already have one character like that, and the other character felt very trending that way. It just, I don't know what they were trying to do with her acting wise. Maybe that's what I want to say. And I think part of it has to do, like you said, Jason, is that she didn't really have a storyline to get her at one spot and then show her at a different spot by the end of the movie. It just, she was there. Even they tried a bit with the whole like, oh, I guess she's going out with old boy who's like half human, and she get a smirk at the end, and it was kind of like, yeah, but was that really earned? Like,
oh yeah, he finally does something for you, so now you're gonna date him. That's dumb.
I just, and I agree with Lisa. Like, without the women here, like, it's funny how the women were used not for their sexuality, but for their ability. But I felt like they weren't giving any kind of urgency that was worth the ability that they had. I mean, hell, the biggest urgency that was given to a degree to Michelle Rodriguez's character is the fact that like Chris Pine knew in every situation she would get them out of it. Like, and that was like the joke to give her urgency. Even the whole blacksmith scene where she's like, "Nah, I'll take them, just go." And it's like, I felt like, yeah, they used them as a set of using their sexuality. They used their ability, but it didn't really give them more. And so anyway, but my real con is just that I think Sophia Lilly, I don't know if it was the direction or her skills. I've seen her act better in other things, so I just think it was the direction. Yeah. And it's a Netflix show that she had too that she's pretty decent in as well.
I can't remember the name.
Yeah, End of the World or something. Yeah, but I just think in this one she just wasn't that good, and I hate doing that because I know on this show y'all tell me how much I hate women. So
I was gonna say it, but since you said it yourself,
misogynist and misogynoir too, Jason.
Yeah, well, look, man, I can't hope who I am in life. I work hard to change. You guys changed me today. Y'all told me I can't use the S word. So there you go. That's a change, guys.
We learn something new every day in this show.
It takes little moments, little light bites of life to change. We got you.
I was gonna. Are you done with your cons?
Yeah. That's it. That's my.
I did have a rebuttal, but I can't remember what it was. Something that you said.
I had one to say. Obviously, you hate women, but he said it, so it's fine. We're good.
Beautiful. I filibustered and 8 Mile.
Oh,
it worked.
My rebuttal was that they didn't make old girl feel that powerful, and that's because that's how Dungeons and Dragons is. They leveled up during the game, and she's just the current big bad evil guy. So yeah, she's going to get waxed by the party at the end of this. Like that's the way it is. Indeed,
that's the way it is.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's my rebuttal.
It's okay.
I mean, if as a movie, yeah, that makes sense. As a D&D game, it makes even more sense.
Voila.
All right. So before we get down to the rundown, quick questions. Did anybody feel like I made a mention about the MacGuffins? Like there's a lot of MacGuffins in this movie to move it forward. Do you feel like that was too much, or because you guys are players, it felt like this is what playing is? And if anybody doesn't know what a MacGuffin is, Jason, please use the words for
It's just any sort of item that helps move the plot along. Anything that helps solve a problem, or anything that usually in most movies, it's something that's being sought after that helps resolve the problem. It's a MacGuffin. It doesn't matter what it is. It could be a dildo. It's the MacGuffin.
Everything, everywhere, all at once.
Yeah. And as to your question, Jason, I think it's exactly along the lines of a D&D campaign where you're constantly seeking out the next big item to do the thing with, because you can only tell so many stories in a D&D game. And you got to get them to do stuff and go to dungeons, and there needs to be a reason why to go to dungeon, and mostly it's because they need to get a thing that helps them do another thing. So I like the fact that they had this thing and that thing, and they used them all, so it's good.
Lisa, what do you think?
I agree. I don't think it had too many. This type of story, it needed it otherwise, because it was already kind of, fantastical and ridiculous anyway. So yeah, just play with it. Let it be what it is. You need A to get to B to get to C and that's fine. And those types of things, tropes exist for a reason because they work.
Yeah.
And so, no, I don't think it was too MacGuffin heavy. I think if they would have missed a step, people would have kind of been a little mad about it,
Yes.
If it's too easy. So
just like the final boss. piece of cake.
Yeah,
too easy.
Oh, that reminds me of you've seen Equilibrium, yes?
Yes,
Mm-hmm.
yeah.
The reason why Tay Diggs goes down so easily is because Kurt Warner, the writer and director of Equilibrium, always like, if you're in your mind, if you're going to face against your bully doesn't get a hit on you. You beat their ass. And that might be the thing. Well, they still got their asses kicked. Someone died.
Yes.
So it wasn't as easy as you said it was, Jason, because someone died.
Good point. I recant my statement to a degree.
Yeah. Get your gun out of here. Get that.
What do you think is the most overrated scene in the movie? Oh, underrated scene. Yes.
Lisa, you want to go first?
I don't have one. I was trying to rack my brain and I couldn't. I didn't have one.
I have one. And it's in the trailer. And when I saw the trailer, I was like, this is going to be dumb. And it's when they're asking the corpse the 5 questions.
Oh, that's so funny.
And I was like, that is going to be dumb. Because it's like, oh, it's the low-hanging fruit where they're like, oh, how many questions do I get to ask? 5. I'm like, no, that wasn't the question. I thought that was going to be the bit. And I was like, this is like the dumbest bit. But when they keep going with it, oh my God, it was pure gold. And they kept asking people who just didn't know.
Yeah. Right.
Next.
And they ask me another question.
And they left one guy after 4 questions. He's like, I got one more. It's like, nah, it's fine.
I'm shocked that my underrated scene I had 2 because I thought Lisa was going to take the one I initially had. My most underrated scene is, and I can't think of his name, when old boy's walking away and he goes, you think he's going to move out of the way of the rock? Is it? No. He just went right over it. I popped so loud in the theater. Everybody's like, why is that so funny? But to me, that was just so funny to me. And I couldn't explain why I thought that was so funny. Like, nope. He's just going to go right over top of it. Like, it just finished Persona so well. Like, all right.
What's your second one?
Oh, the second one I had was, again, going with the same thing, was that his lack of understanding when he was saying, like, oh, I was being sarcastic, whatever. He would make comments and be like, oh, I don't know what that is. Or like, him being very like, most people like do the Thor and Drax thing where it's like people say stuff and they just misunderstand it. The fact that he would address his misunderstanding of it and be like, hey, I don't do that. Like, I thought that was pretty funny to me. Like, yeah, I don't do that. Like, it was great. But,
there was a lot of moments that, especially between Helga and Renee Ray J, Jean Page, Zennick's character. They felt very Draxus to me, but never so Draxus that are like, oh, they're just doing Drax. Right. They changed it up just a little bit. We're like, oh, that's a fresh taste because Helga was never too like on the nose like Drax is. Like she understood like things. She was just very like earnest what they said, like. You could turn into a deer.
Right.
We don't need a deer.
That was great. Yeah. That was great.
What she turned into? A deer. So you did.
Oh, a deer.
And then our last one, which out of our main characters or anybody in the movie, who would you be in your own personal campaign?
Not one of them.
Okay.
None of them are sexy mommy tieflings. Who are purple, who are 6'4", who can pick me up and I can go, Mom, Daddy wants Milky's, Mommy.
Jason just wants Snook Snook. He just wants Snook Snook.
What the fuck?
As we drift right on past that, Lisa, what about you?
Doric. I would choose Doric. I have a character kind of similar to her.
Druids can't wild shape into owl bears. They're monstrosities, not beasts.
Oh, well. Glad to know that, internet nerd. Thank you for addressing the cheap seats in the back, Jason, because we know somebody would have said that, and glad you get that out there for us. Mine would be Jonathan. I mean, that would be which is probably a MacGuffin, technically.
And I know we're done with our formula, but I just want to say, like, that Jonathan bit really could have been. It could have been too much. Like, it could have been like something that would have been annoying. But they performed it so well that it was so funny that you actually got 2 jokes out of it because you got one later, and
right.
so yeah.
I saw
Enough
this
with the Jonathan.
I saw this on a couple of reviews, but like it definitely piqued my mind when I was watching this. It's like it sounded like if you're playing a D&D game and they're like, "Oh, what are the names of the guys, or who are the guys who are going to be doing the panel?" And it's like, "Oh, it's going to be a halfling, a dragonborn, a human, and a Aarakocra." Oh, cool, Aarakocra. What's Aarakocra's name? Like, I don't fucking know. I don't. Jonathan. Okay, cool. We have a plan. It's like you named the Aarakocra Jonathan because you just couldn't think of another name.
Yeah,
that's why his name is Jonathan.
Even better for them. Made me able to relate so much that I'm like, I want him for my campaign. The last part of this we're going to do we call the rundown real quick. This is strictly for the Twitter and the gram. Jason, give me all your pros, all your cons, and your rating.
All right, pros. Feels like a D&D telling a D&D story. It's funny, silly, charming, without taking too much for the serious parts. A ton of references and Easter eggs about D&D without being nostalgic bait, and all the performances spot on and well done. And Jonathan. Cons: the female characters, particularly Doric, don't have much of an arc. Eden doesn't really act like a bard, and they could have been more fantastical with their creatures and just overall stuff. But my rating is going to be a 5 out of 5.
Ooh, 5 out of 5. Oh my god! All right, Lisa,
or
your rundown.
9 out of 10. I don't know.
Okay, so pros for Dungeons and Dragons: the cast, the map. It didn't take itself too seriously. Michelle Rodriguez stole the show, and the ending. I thought it wrapped up very nicely. The cons were Chris Pine seemed too much like Jason Bateman. I wanted more wizards. And then the super picky, I wish that the ending with the choosing the tablet would have ended up a little differently between the father and the daughter. So this is probably 4 out of 5.
Ooh, still high. All right, we're still friends.
4 out of 5. Oh. A lot of pressure for me on this rundown now.
Jason's gonna be like 1.3 out of 5.
You called it. All right, yes. My pros are this Dungeons & Dragons felt like a dungeon master was controlling it. The film looked very beautiful. The pacing of this movie was perfect. Hugh Grant is a king among kings, and I'm not going to king shame him. It had the right mix of humor, drama, action, and heart. And my cons are the bald head woman that was the supervillain I felt like too easy to beat. And I wish that Sophia Lilly had better direction because I felt like she was very stale in this performance. But I would, siding with Lisa, give this a 4 out of 5. I thoroughly
close enough to 5. I'm going to just
movie.
say in my head you gave him 5 out of 5s. Yay!
Yeah. And you can do that in your head. That works.
Sure, that works.
All right, now we're going to go to the divisiveness. All right.
All right, here we go. With the help from Princess Peach, Mario gets ready to square off against the all-powerful Bowser to stop his plans from conquering the world. That's not what his plans were. That is what HBO or the Google says about the Super Mario Brothers movie. And if you know, now you know. If you don't know, now you know. We do a one-sentence review for everything we do. So, Lisa, go ahead and give us your one-sentence review for the Super Mario Brothers movie. I can read.
Super Mario Brothers one-sentence review. It's okay.
Jason, go ahead.
I'm a one sentence for Super Mario Brothers is this should be called Average Mario and His Brother.
Damn, guys. All right. For me, this is the movie that Bob Hoskins and John Leguizamo should have made back in the old days of 1993.
Oh, so true. So
yeah.
True. All right. As always, like I said, for our reviews, we start off with love. So we're going to give us the pros. And since, let's start with Lisa this time. I'm going to switch it up. Lisa,
ladies first.
Please tell us what are your pros of Super Mario Brothers.
Just putting the white lady in front of black dudes all the time.
Okay. Can you, I'm Mexican.
I gotta be me.
Very much.
I gotta be me.
Thank you very much. So I feel like I should preface with I definitely didn't want to see this movie at all. Like I was excited that y'all didn't even mention this, and I was like, yes, yes, yes. And then James was like, "Do you want to go see Super Mario?" And I was like, "No, but I'll go watch it with you." And he was just like, "Okay." And then y'all are like, "Super Mario Brothers for the podcast."
Well,
I was like,
if we didn't wait 2 weeks, we wouldn't have done it.
It's fine. Okay. So anyway, so the pros, if you just know where my heart is coming from. Okay. So pros. It was funnier than I thought it was gonna be. I loved seeing all the different worlds, the music, so the soundtrack or the score, and Donkey Kong.
Mm.
And,
All right.
that's it.
I'm gonna give a rebuttal.
Jason. All
Donkey
right.
Kong sucks because it's just Seth Rogen.
You suck. That's my rebuttal.
I think that's a fair rebuttal.
Fair rebuttal to that rebuttal. You're absolutely right about that.
Jason,
that will
your
be
pros.
my rebuttal. My pros for the Super Mario Brothers movie. It actually uses the iconography of Mario games to make it feel like you're watching the story of the game.
Nerd. Sorry.
Right there. That's for you. If you're listening to this, I am flicking off Jason right now.
Subscribe to our Patreon and then you can see what's happening.
Rebuttal, nerd.
Why don't you go back to Nerd Town, nerd? The voice acting for this is a pro. It's also pretty good, including Seth Rogen and Chris Pratt a little bit. Plus, they have a fun use of cameos and a fun use of the original voice acting for Mario. Number 3 would be the animation style is bright and vibrant and completely captures the energy of a Super Mario Brother game. This feels like the various references to the games don't really feel like they're superfluous or lazy or just tacked on just for the fun.
Why is this like an essay? I love you. I'm sorry. I just don't understand.
Like,
what is happening
honestly,
right now, Jason?
I was less excited about writing this one than I was about Dungeons and Dragons.
What are we listening to?
Look, that's why I rebutted with nerd. You didn't feel it.
I'm sorry.
You didn't feel the analytical.
I'm sorry, Lisa. I took AP English. I didn't go to college like you.
Okay. Go ahead. Sorry. Go ahead.
And this has been literally the most character development that Peach has ever gotten, ever. That would be my pro.
Are you discounting Super Mario Brothers 2? Are you
Yes.
discounting the video game that made you play as Peach?
Yes, I'm discounting that because she didn't get any character
All
development there ever. Like, she could just float because she wore a dress.
Hey, it helped her in this movie. All right.
Yeah.
Any other pros that you got?
No, that's it. Because apparently they're too analytical.
I didn't say they were too analytical. I just said, what am I listening to?
All right,
you listen to me trying to struggle to get pros out of this for this movie.
I'm about to let Lisa. I'm gonna give Lisa what she wants. Pros. They got this right. They accomplished to make a video game movie that worked without me rolling my eyes every 5 seconds. Another pro, Peach is awesome in this movie.
Mm-hmm.
It's great to see that she's not the damsel and actually has urgency and knows what she's doing. Pro. All I'm gonna say is Jack Black. We all know. Pro. The animation is amazing in this. Never realized how much I dislike Minions until I saw this. I was like, oh, this is what like animation should really look like.
It's the same company.
Oh, I know. That's what I said. That's why I didn't realize.
Y'all could have done this the whole entire time.
Right. That's what I'm saying. Pro. Actually, for what the movie is, it is very short and it's very rare that I've seen like a 90-minute movie. And we review movies all the time. And if I was like 92 minutes, whoo, that felt like a brisk jog in the park. I mean, you can see from my weight, I don't jog in the park or jog. But in my mind, of entertainment.
Patreon, you can see.
Right,
Yeah.
there you go.
You can see pictures of his feet too if you want.
Yep, I can.
You don't want to see those. You don't want to see those.
If
Right.
you do, just hit up our DMs and let us know.
Right.
Okay, go ahead.
Any rebuttals?
No, I think you're pretty spot on with all those.
You said it felt like a brisk walk in the park. Does that mean that it didn't feel too long, or what
Yeah, it didn't feel long to me. It didn't feel long to me at this point. Let me change it. I think it might have had pacing issues, but I'm saying that the fact that it was still 90 minutes, I was like, oh, All right, this is over. Okay, I'm good.
Our butt
go home.
did feel a little long for me because I did end up taking a little bit of nap halfway through this.
I definitely did. Man. James had to wake me up.
I took a little bit of nap.
For sure.
Roughly around the third act, I was asleep.
There was one time where he's like, it's almost over. I'm like, this is the longest 90 minutes of my life.
So cons. Yeah, I should have been in your pros. You got sleep.
Yeah.
All right. Well, we're going to shoot over the cons, and this is going to be enjoyable. Lisa, what are your cons for Super Mario? Super Mario.
Super Mario.
Mario from Long Island. Mario.
They made Luigi a dodo, and I didn't like that. I would have liked to see more of Luigi's Mansion. They kind of hinted at that, and then that was it.
Sequel.
And then I think the movie had really bad pacing.
Any rebuttals, Jason?
No, she's good.
All right. Jason, what are your cons?
You got... You and Alex and Jaren were talking about this, but this is my number one con, is that Peach's song felt like a first draft to me. Like,
oh, it is.
Peach's what?
The Peach's song felt like a first draft. Oh. It really felt like they were like, Jack Black, oh, you can sing us a song. And Jack Black's like, right now? They're like, yeah, right now. It's like, yeah, you can give me a couple of days. I can come up with no. Just sing us a song right now. And I'm like, this is the worst.
It was very tenacious.
Oh. Rebuttal. Lisa hit it right on the head. I was like, it feels like Tenacious D. That's what made it all.
Tenacious D is actually funny, though.
That was funny.
Funny.
Rebuttal. The song was funny. Yes.
It was a first draft, in my opinion.
But I agree with that. I agree that this is probably off the dome. I 100% agree with that.
Yeah.
This is a con. I did fall asleep during this. Especially. That whole card section, I don't know what happens.
Rainbow Road.
I don't.
That part was great.
They were getting to the cards, and I'm like, oh, this is about to be the card part. And then I'm waking up, and then I'm fighting Bowser. And I'm like, what happened to the cards?
No, that was a great scene. That's a shame you missed that, because that was one of my favorite scenes, was the cards.
In my defense, we went to go watch this at 10 a.m. after I'd stayed up late drinking that Friday morning, and I was just tired.
Friday morning?
I was drinking. No, we went on Saturday morning. I said stayed up late drinking Friday afternoon. I'm sorry, I misspoke.
Oh,
Friday evening, because we went to the Braves game, and I just.
Man, we about to check you in a rehab, bro. We want to be like, you start drinking Friday morning.
What the hell is happening here?
Y'all never get up at 8:30 and just crack open a beer?
Okay.
Or 6.
Okay.
You're telling too much about your life. About your life.
This is all on the interwebs. You might want to just.
My last con is Chris Pratt is probably a douchebag in real life.
Probably.
That's it.
No strong. Lisa, any rebuttals?
I already said I think that the song was great. It was very Tenacious D. I love Jack Black, so that was my rebuttal to that. I thought that was hilarious.
All right, my cons. Opposed to Lisa's, I was going to do that, but I'm like, I'll save it for my cons. I thought it was too many needle drops. I thought the songs in here, like, let's put all the popular songs in here to make you guys like feel something. I thought was just lazy. And no, don't worry, it worked for the cheap seats because I popped the first couple of songs, but after like the third needle drop, I was like, okay, guys, we get it. You paid rights and you have the rights to these songs. We get it. I agree. They could have used more Luigi and a more efficient and better Luigi. Yes, you can have him afraid because that's what he is in Luigi's Haunted Mansion, but
not
he's
in
also
number 2
resourceful.
for Mario Brothers 2. He could jump higher.
Yes, you should have gave him more urgency. I think this, and then my last one, and it's a huge problem with the movie, is that it's Mario. Mario's my con in it because I felt like they should have. Well, I felt like they should have trended Mario. My archetype for this is I call it the Marty McFly. Marty McFly is a loser, but he finds a way to still be charming and charismatic in his loserdom that also makes you support and root for him to want to win. But if you look at Marty just out on plans, Marty McFly is a loser. Mario was a loser here, but at no point did I ever want to root for Mario being a winner because he was selfish. He only cared about his brother. So all the stuff to help to save the kingdom, that was just by proxy because he was wanted to find his brother. he dragged his brother into that business that was not doing well. And from what it seemed like, they weren't even really good plumbers. So the fact you drove them into that business and you weren't really that good at your job was kind of disturbing for me a bit.
Yeah, because that wasn't very clear. Were they good plumbers or not?
No. Rebuttal.
It seemed like they were great, but then like happenstance kept getting in their way.
Mario was an excellent plumber. It's just that damn dog.
That scene was funny. I busted during that.
Especially catching him with the plunger. That was pretty cute.
I also think the stuff that isn't the needle drops, but the music wise was really, really good. It's just I would agree with you with those when they just insert modern song here, it just took you out of the movie completely. But everything that was like actual like a score that actually brought in like the various Mario themes, that shit was excellent. That shit was so great. Why do y'all just do that the whole entire movie? We don't need
I agree.
All these modern ass songs in this movie. We don't need them. It doesn't make any sense. But yeah, that would be a rebuttal to that.
Yeah, I just thought, but yeah, I think Mario's characterization, and I could be off. I always just, outside of his tormenting of Donkey Kong in the original Jumpman, I always felt like Mario's always been like the leader, take charge, kind of blah, blah, blah. It's always the vibe they gave him in other incarnations. I felt like this one was just like a loser, and he just happened to get lucky that he fell down a drain and became a hero. Like, that's what I really felt
like I guess I'll do this.
Right.
I suppose.
He got lucky.
My mom will be mad if I don't bring my brother back because we're
right.
40-year-old men that live at home. Like, how old are you guys? Like, really? Got full-on bushy mustaches. I did like the scene where they actually were at home with their family. I thought that was hilarious.
It was
even though like, damn, these guys are not successful, but they're business starters. They went out and started a business, and y'all clowning on them. Get out of here!
Get out of here!
How you grow up Italian? How you grow up Italian? You don't like no mushrooms.
Walk in here.
yeah. You don't like mushrooms. Get out!
I did grow up
Mario.
black and don't like fried chicken, so I guess I can get it.
Okay.
Difference.
Cool.
All right. Yeah, a difference. Anybody had a favorite Easter egg or anything you saw that you were like, oh, you kind of pop for?
So I kind of like, I didn't feel like, so Easter egg to me means like it's kind of hidden, like it'll be like
it's not hidden.
And nothing was hidden. Yeah, like
That's
it was
true.
just
That's
all in your face, like everything, and maybe there were a few like hidden gems, but I didn't see any because I was too busy with them just like throwing the entire fucking Yoshi race in your face. And
you see Yoshi, it's Yoshi, guys.
See, there's Yoshi. There's all the colors of like it's just like little things like that, but my favorite Nintendo game period in all of Nintendo is Donkey Kong Country for the Super NES.
Great one.
And so I loved when they were in like the cart, like driving, and it looked like you're going through Donkey Kong Country. That was my favorite, and I was very excited to see that.
I do actually have a fun Easter egg that I thought was cool, even though it's kind of on the nose. The original voice of Mario, Chris Martinet, is playing Giuseppe, the little Jumpman guy, and I thought that was cute. He's also Mario's dad too. So yeah. And I did laugh when they did in the commercial, the original, try to do the voices.
It's me!
It's me, Mario!
Mario!
I thought that was funny. But Giuseppe. They got a job.
Right. Actually, my favorite Easter egg is the fact that, like, because this movie did amazingly well, we may possibly get, like, a Nintendo universe. Because you saw the little stuff in there like Pac-Man and blah, blah. And I'm more excited about, which Jason and Lisa, you probably do. Like, maybe at one point we get a Metroid and get a Legend of Zelda. Like, because this makes so much money. I feel like it has to be on the table now. Like,
Zelda would be so good.
They should do a live
so
action
much.
Zelda.
No, stop that.
Yeah. I'm with Lisa. Do the animation. Do the animation. I'm with Lisa.
They already did a Zelda cartoon.
We need more animation and less live action shit. I'm telling you, the fact that they're doing live action Harry Potter, I don't want to get off the subject of this, but Animation. We're talking about magic. We're talking about all this anime. Stop it. Stop it with the live action people. I'm over it.
Right.
Stop using real people.
Stop.
Money
For real.
and jobs.
It gives you too much limits. Like you can. No, animators need jobs and food too. Okay, so
yeah, and they're gonna get paid the least on these movies.
Well, we need to fix things. Okay, changes have to start from the bottom. Jason.
Oh, I agree with you. I'm agreeing with you 100%. I'm just saying that they will be the least paid on the project if it's animated. That's it.
Here's something I've seen make the rounds. Was the script too lazy? In my lab, people are saying that it was very like, oh, Mario gets here, then he gets that. Oh, he gets trained, and now he's on a very shit. Like it felt very like Mario didn't earn anything. Everything was just falling in his lap consistently. That made it work. So was the script too lazy?
The script is lazy as it is specifically designed for small children to follow along. This is a kids movie. 100 like
yeah, I agree with that. It's a kids,
and doesn't mean kids movies are simplistic or they're less than. I'm just saying sometimes you got to write for your audience, and all the 4 and 5 year olds in the audience for me, they were fucking having a great time. So
yeah.
Well, and also, and I think maybe because with Illumination, we're used to Minions and Despicable Me, which kind of still have that adult humor, and almost like Shrek has that. Like it's a kids movie, but it's still very much kind of written for adults. And this movie does not have. This is just could be a Tinkerbell movie. Like it is a kids.
It's like, oh, is there going to be an adult joke in here? No.
No. Yeah. Like at all. Yeah. It's a kids movie made for kids and there was nothing, which is kind of crazy to think because so James and I were talking about this. It was very heavy in Nintendo 64 land. Yeah. It had a lot of Nintendo 64 stuff. Like so it was a lot of stuff that like our kids know because we've brainwashed them to like everything that we like a good millennial parent. However, there are other, kids who don't know that and aren't aware of those things. But so he had said, like, I'm surprised that they didn't do more like OG Mario stuff. And I, as we were talking about it, I was like, oh, because it was probably written by millennials. This movie was probably written by millennials who in the prime were playing the 64. Nintendo 64, and that's what they're doing that. So maybe millennials are making it for their kids, and that's it. But it is
because they're I mean, even though they have like Goombas and Koopas and stuff, like there's no birdie in this. Like so, like a lot of millennials, like Super Mario Brothers 2 would have been like the earliest version of it, so they would be barely on their radar, right? Versus like, especially if you are a younger millennial, you would have definitely had your earliest memory would have been either the Super Nintendo Super Mario Brothers or the Mario 64, which is what basically 100% is either came from that or came from this, and that makes sense.
Yeah. So that's about it. There was a few like Paper Marios and there was a few like Mario Odyssey, but it was really just all 64.
Except Mario Odyssey. Yeah. All right. Anybody else have any questions or any moments they want to highlight or low light or?
I did fall asleep, so
yeah. But there were times like it was weird to me that I fell asleep because there were times where I was like really enjoying the movie.
Yeah, I was engaged.
Laughing. And I was like, this shit's so funny. And like, I'm surprised that, because I remember there was one moment where I was just like, I can't believe that I'm actually laughing at this movie because I thought it was going to be straight trash. And then literally the next minute, it's like, yo, wake up. Like, it's almost over. And I'm like, what
happened? I definitely, because I did not want to see this movie at all. I thought this was going to be straight garbage. And I was like, this is surprisingly not garbage. Except for Chris Pratt as a person, obviously.
Big facts.
Allegedly.
Number one fans out here.
Nothing proven. I'm still gonna watch in Guardians of the Galaxy 3. But yeah,
sure.
I'm surprised.
They're not monsters.
then I fell asleep, especially during I guess the most thrilling part, which is the kart racing. So
yeah,
take that as a review.
Yeah,
I feel like, I mean, if you real, like, the thing that amused me and bothers me at the movie at the same time is like, to use a very crude term, I feel like they like kind of blew their wad in this one. Like, you already did like
yes,
you did Mario Kart, you did like what's the
did
sequel going to be about? Like, yeah, like you gave us a lot in this one. Like, it almost felt like you weren't sure if this would work, so you gave it your all, and then at the end said, "Oh, just in case it does work, we'll put a little something there for the posting in credits."
Yeah,
but like, I felt like they went all in.
Even though he's my favorite character, obviously.
God, I always play with Yoshi. I love him. He's great.
Yeah, everybody does.
Yeah.
No, but I must say, I think that was disturbing to me. Not disturbing, but interesting to me. Also, I think I'll give it credit. The final fight scene was dope. Like, I will give it that love. Like,
Agreed.
him being in the pizzeria or whatever, like hiding behind it, and I thought the final scene was dope. But again, I think if Mario was better characterized, that moment would have felt bigger. But for the fact that the whole movie, I'm like, Mario, you suck. Maybe not care that he came back.
Yeah. But then it was cute because they had the dog come back and give him like the head nod at the end. Like, so it was just these little cute little things. Yeah. I just think that maybe it's just editing. I don't know, and maybe with the sequel, because I'm sure there's going to be 87,000 of them and a TV show and all that stuff.
I was surprised at how much I did enjoy Charlie Day as Luigi, like as voice. I thought he was probably one of the better people. That and Anna Taylor-Joy, where they're better actors turned voice actors in this, in my humble opinion.
But do you think, like, because I feel like you make this quasi all-star cast to a degree for this voice acting, I feel like they were wasted, being completely honest. Like, I didn't feel like Anna Joy, I didn't think she brought anything extra to the role that any voice actress could have done. Like, I feel like if you're going to go out and get these people that are names, like, it has to be like, I don't know, some particular voice they're going to give you that makes it not them, but distinct enough that you appreciate that they were able to flex their vocals to make it seem not like them. I feel like all of them just almost sounded like themselves.
That's one of the things that made me kind of angry about Seth Rogen playing Donkey Kong, because like he's on interviews going like, "Oh yeah, I'm just gonna be me. I'm not playing a voice. I'm not doing anything. I'm just gonna go out there and say my lines and collect this fucking paycheck." Because it is like, why have him as Donkey Kong unless you're gonna make it like let him be Donkey Kong, right? Unless he's gonna pretend to be like, and that's a lot of the reason why I wasn't really a big fan of Chris Pratt being cast, because it's like, at least he tried, I guess.
Right.
But it's just like, yeah, why are we getting these big name people to do this when it doesn't
people watch your movie?
Yeah, but they would have watched it anyway because it's the Mario movie. It's not like
I maybe not. I mean,
yes, I think
we would have watched it anyway, but they might not have gotten the budget for it if they couldn't have said, hey, we'll get A-list actors, and
I went in that theater and let's say 1 out of every 3 people, now let's say 2 out of every 3 people was a child. They don't give a fuck about Chris Pratt or Charlie Day or Seth Rogen. They came to see fucking Mario.
Yeah, but you went at 10 a.m., right? You went to 10 a.m. We went to an 8 o'clock, and our movie was completely packed, and it was nothing but adults.
Yeah, because it's at 8 o'clock. I went at 10.
Jason, okay. You know what? I'm going to fuck you up. You better stop.
I just...
No one ever past their bedtime, Lisa. They're not going at 8.
Only thing that made me want to puke was when he did say it's on like Donkey Kong. I almost threw up in my seat. But other than that... All right, let's go. Lisa, you have anything else to add? Sorry, I didn't...
No, I'm good. I will never watch it again.
Oh, that 25 minutes span that I missed? It's fine.
That's the best review we can have. I'll never watch it again. All right, let's go down to the roundup. Lisa, give me all your pros, all your cons, and what score would you give Super Mario Brothers?
Okay, Super Mario Brothers. It was funnier than I thought. Loved seeing all the different worlds. Donkey Kong. Regardless of what Jason says, because he's wrong. And I can't remember what the other thing was that I said because I didn't write it down. But so cons are they is nerfed a correct term? They just made Luigi a dodo.
Yeah.
And I didn't like that. I wanted to see more of Luigi's Mansion. They just gave us a teeny tiny like little teaser of that, which is bullcrap because they gave us long ass scenes of other random stuff. And I thought the pacing was bad. The highlight of the movie was, for me, Donkey Kong Country minecart racing.
There you go. What score would you give it?
I would. I would give it a 2.5. 2.5 out of
2.5.
5.
Okay. Jason, your roundup.
Here we go. Pros. It actually uses a lot of the iconography of Mario games. The voice acting with a couple exceptions is pretty good. The anime style is bright, vibrant, and completely captures the energy of a later Mario game. The various references to the game don't feel superfluous. And literally the most character development Prince Peach has ever had. That's great. Cons. That Peaches song, I don't know how y'all like that shit. It's not good. I fell asleep. Take that as you will. And Chris Pratt is probably a douchebag in real life. And my overall score, I would go with Lisa and give it a 2.5 out of 5.
Okay.
Man, I never thought I'd be sitting in a world where I appreciated Mario more than you two.
Mario!
I love it. The thing is, not only do people from Long Island pronounce it Mario, but also every single black person I've ever heard pronounced it Mario. And I'm like, they say his name in the game, guys. I don't understand why we're not
fucking Mario, bro. What are you talking about? What are you talking about,
Mario?
What are you talking about? It's Mario, bro. What are you talking about?
It's me, Mario.
That's another one of my cons. They kept messing up his name and calling him Mario.
And the thing is, I
his
know
name
dudes,
is Mario.
Black dudes named Mario, and they still pronounce it Mario.
His name is Mario. It's not Ong, it's Aang. It's not
First
Mario.
Of all,
it's
his
Mario.
name is Aang. I ain't got time for that shit. Anyway.
Fuck you, M. Night Shyamalan.
Yeah. God.
Oh, right.
So good. Get the
as I
fuck
rid up the people. All right, my pros are they got it right and accomplished a good video game movie. Princess Peach is another one of my pros. Jack Black is another one of my pros. The animation is amazing. The movie was 90 minutes because we never see those kind of movies anymore. So that gets a pro. My cons is too many needle drops. Could have done without a lot of them. My cons are Luigi is useless in this movie. And my con is that I think Mario's characterization is pretty weak and he's not rootable enough for me. Actually, like I said, it's odd that I will be above you guys. I would actually give this a 3, man. I enjoyed my time while I was there.
We can round up. Everything's a 3.
Sure.
Thank you for coming along on this journey with me. I appreciate it.
These scores mean nothing.
Yeah.
Right. Arbitrary at best.
I don't think 1,000 years from now, someone's going to pull up our podcast and be like, see, obviously the Mario movie was not worth our time to archive because it's a 2.5. Floor flax.
The names get weirder as we get older. Is that what happens?
Oh God, that's so funny. Okay, so are we talking? We're cleaning up house right now, or what?
We're cleaning up house. Let's clean the house up.
So I think I propose that we start tagging Samuel L. Jackson in our posts because he lives in Atlanta. He loves Atlanta. And I think it would be hilarious if we just kept saying, as soon as Samuel L. Jackson comes on the show, then we'll review the cleaner.
Lisa, you have no idea how much anxiety that would give me if Samuel L. Jackson actually said yes. I would. Well, he
wouldn't come on the show because he's still famous. We'd have to pay him, and we don't have that money. But maybe if someone just recognizes it and he sees it and just gets a little. I just think it would be funny.
I would literally have a panic attack if he even retweeted a tweet.
What?
It'd be like on Community when he beats up Howard and Troy loses it.
It's like that.
I told him I never want to meet my heroes.
Speaking of LeVar Burton,
we'll just keep running this out of our parents' basement.
No, you're obviously right, Lisa. We're not saying no. I'm just saying I'm gonna have a panic attack.
Okay, you can be sick that day, and me and Jason will just interview him.
I put a timestamp on it, so I got it. Sam Jackson. I can put it in the clip. See?
There we go. Yeah. Let's do it, and we will review the cleaner, and we will talk about the amazingness of the snakes on the plane, and we can talk about something else. One of his.
Oh yeah, I mean, if he comes on, I just want to talk about all his worst movies. I don't want to talk about the good stuff.
You're talking about the spirit? You're talking about the spirit.
I don't know why you're putting Snakes on a Plane in the same sentence with worst movie ever, because it is not. You know what?
Oh, no, I mean, for him, his worst movies. I mean, Snakes on a Plane is like bottom tier for his.
That's top tier for his movie.
That movie
I feel like you're insulting Sam Jackson by saying that.
No. That movie is gold.
Is a Smithsonian top 100 masterpiece.
Look here, man. You're not going to tell me that Snakes on a Plane is hanging out with Time to Kill. We're not going to do that on the show.
Yes,
we're going to lose all integrity.
Way better than Time to Kill.
That's literally what I'm saying.
Oh, my God.
I'll watch it. I will watch one right after the other and be like,
I would go see that movie with my mom when I was 8.
Look,
that movie's so good.
I mean, yes, do both of them have two of his most iconic lines? I'm tired of these elegant snakes on a plane, but yes, he deserves a die. I hope he burns in hell. I use that every day of my life. What are you talking about?
He burns in hell.
It's that every day of my life.
I wish I was on trial for something so I could just say that to
somebody. somebody cuts me off at the light. I hope he burns it. Like, that's every day of my life.
Okay.
Or just imagine she was white. Come on, man. Y'all tripping. Do not do that to Sam Jackson.
All right. It's better than Black Snake Moan. How about that?
Definitely.
I don't know. Christina Ricci and they're looking fine in that one. I ain't gonna lie. I'm gonna keep it. I'm gonna keep it a bean there. But
again, you're talking about Christina Ricci, not Sam Jackson, and we're okay. It's fine. It's fine. It doesn't matter.
Oh, y'all remember 187?
Yes.
Where he's a teacher.
Yeah, the teacher.
Yes.
And then at the end, they play Russian roulette, and they both lose. Like, how did you both lose at Russian roulette?
Because a mind is a terrible thing to waste, Jason.
If one guy loses, the other guy wins. You stop playing after one guy loses.
If you lose one student, you've lost at all. Like Sam Jackson was playing for keeps.
Yeah. Okay, so more housekeeping. If you guys who are listening to us,
Sam Jackson went to Morehouse, by the way.
He did. Oh yeah, I knew that.
If he comes on the show, could we just list all his facts of his life like he don't know him? But hey, did you know you went to Morehouse?
You were born in 1947. Like, how was that?
Okay, all right. Lisa's doing housekeeping.
It's our show, so we can do whatever we want. We can just literally be like,
don't ask him questions. Just present
your favorite anime is. We can just talk and just have him sitting in a box and just listen.
Sam Jackson, can you name all the movies that you did in 1997? Go. We want to know if you're the real Sam Jackson.
In release order, not the order you shot them in.
What did we just watch him in? Did we just watch him in something that I didn't like? No, other than The Cleaner. Because I feel like y'all would totally do that. If he was on, y'all be like, so Lisa watched this and she hated it.
I would do it.
Yeah.
Your seminal work, the one that you're most proud of, Lisa actually hates.
She hates it. She gave it. We have the footage. Let's rewind and see exactly what she said about
the one that you went on, 60 Minutes and you have that huge interview, how this is your greatest achievement of your life, and you feel like you actually added something to the world and to the discourse and made the world a little bit better place. Yeah, this bitch hated it.
Yeah. She said, hated it.
This was like Pulp Fiction. He's the worst thing in that movie.
Oh God, Pulp Fiction is so good. I love that.
When you were playing Steven in Django Unchained, how easy of that was that for you?
Okay.
I really felt
okay. No. No.
I feel like this was very easy role to play.
No.
Jason, we don't use the S word on this show.
Yeah.
Slave is one of them.
Oh. I'm sorry, enslaved person.
Indentured servant. Isn't that what they say now?
No.
Yeah, something like
That's
that.
what the Irish were. We were slaves too. Like, no, you weren't.
But were you?
Y'all got to leave.
Right. All right.
Okay.
Oh yeah, housekeeping.
Right, what more housekeeping?
Hot yoga.
Oh yeah, hot yoga. We're gonna start, everybody, you guys too, start tagging Power Performance Yoga in downtown Lawrenceville.
Whenever you see our post, Performance Yoga.
Power Performance Yoga.
Okay.
And I've already talked to one of my instructors, and he said 100% that y'all can come to his class and he will live stream it. And then
dude, I ain't doing no yoga with no dudes.
If y'all aren't watching, I just want you to know you could just see the whole whites of my eyes because my eye roll was like epic.
I'm surprised I couldn't hear it. It was
Jason said, "Not no yoga, but I wrestle on this mat with this man."
For real. Thank you very much.
I'm sorry, you have to. They don't let you do it with the ladies. It's weird.
Okay.
Jason's trying to scissor the ladies.
Something that I learned was that yoga was created by men, of course. So
of course it was.
I'm
about to say something real sexist and I'm like, that's dumb.
Yeah. Good job for stopping.
Yeah.
See, we don't use the S words. Sexist.
Yeah.
You can teach us stuff. We
so
can
many
learn.
S words. We're just like going down the list. So make sure you like, subscribe, share for us. Get people engaged. We're gonna get better about engagement. We say that every week, but we are getting better about engagement.
Yes,
honestly,
we are.
And so we can get to that class, get the live stream, and then if there's something ridiculous y'all want to see us do, just let us know. You want to see Jason's feet? Just tell us. Just slip into those DMs, and it's fine. We're trying to. We gotta pay for eggs, so the bar set real low.
Some money to see these feet pics. Like,
taxes coming up. Like, it's fine. So I think that's all I have to say for housekeeping. Do we have any other housekeeping?
Yeah, I mean, kind of reiterate. Yeah, Lisa's right. I'm gonna get back on my grind. Get back on the socials, get that stuff. I have to post like the episode from like 2-3 weeks ago because I realized I didn't post that. So
yeah,
surprise.
Like, I don't know what number this is.
yeah. It's 89. I gotta post 88 where we reviewed a bunch of other stuff that I don't remember at this point.
I can't remember what either.
Yeah.
But I have it written down, so don't worry. I'll get it figured out. But I'll get that posted up this week, and then next week we'll have. If you're not watching this live on YouTube, you'll have this episode, and we'll have some clips. Also, tell us what you think about the new format.
Mm-hmm.
If you like it, you like the way we're reviewing it, blah, blah. And if you think it just sucks, then we'll tell you to eat one. But
I got a party part you can lick.
yes. But yeah, as always, I think that is all the housekeeping I have.
Oh, we got the website. Don't forget
yes, website.
Parts of the website are down, but you can still view our episodes, our videos, and our podcast episodes. You can still do that. Unfortunately, you cannot interact because AWS sucks, and they need to migrate it to something else. That's why.
Cool.
Nobody knows what that means.
Amazon Web Service.
Amazon Web Service. Yeah, I know.
See, she knew.
Still don't know.
Jason doesn't know what it means.
Doesn't know. I'm keeping it for the brothers in the hood. I was like, what are they talking about? AWS.
The brothers in the hood know what that means. They be like, yeah, I get my code on, son. I'll be up there and on AWS. Google Cloud Services.
No.
You know what I'm doing out in these streets.
Man, we grew up in 2 different hoods, but I appreciate that your hood was more civilized than mine.
They still shooting people out the block. I got homework to do.
Get on that AWS.
Essay.
You never saw a startup?
If I don't have to decode that password, I would be up in your ass right now. Yeah, I get it. I understand.
You never had a strongly worded tweet from a rival gang member? I mean, like,
yeah. I mean, it seems like Silicon Valley is the hood you're referring to. Like
it is. I grew up in Tequila, guys. It was no thing.
We also are working on a new logo, right?
Oh, we are not working on it. It's been worked on.
Yeah. I feel like we will unveil it, give it a, once we get it.
Okay. Because a couple of my friends have said that they want merch. They said if
that's the next level. Yep.
They would
merch.
Yeah, that's what they said they want. Like they said they would buy it in a heartbeat, and they're like, make sure you have it in this color, make sure you have this style, make sure you do it. And I'm like, okay, well,
baseball tees.
Just like, no, they want crew neck sweatshirts.
Okay.
And then like long sleeve tee. And listen, Jason, they're the ones buying it, so you can just fix your face, okay?
Not V-neck, like classy.
Jesus,
I love a V-neck, man, because I ain't really got a neck. So when that V get down there, it look like I got some neck. So
dude, the V-necks are the worst. I actually do enjoy a crew neck because the V-necks make me look. I can't even pull a V-neck off.
So hopefully, merch is coming. I would love to rock some merch because I'm a merch girl. So
yeah. I need clothes, so anytime we can like do merch and I can get a free one, that'd be great.
Well, we are still very much a startup, and we're not currently making any money, so we'd have.
Yeah, but we got to get a bundle of them together, and then therefore technically it's free for me, even though we all paid for it.
It's fine. I understand that it makes sense,
but I'll work on that. Yes, the merch part, I'll work on it because I got to figure out how to do the tech part of it, which I probably could just get with Jason and figure that out.
I can figure it out. It's quite easy.
When I say get with you, that's what I meant. Like push it off on you.
Just make Jason do it on the internet, and I can do it. It's pretty.
Yeah, he has some other stuff coming because some of the ideas I gave him was one new logo. Wanted him to do some hit canon circus stuff in different kind of artistic fonts. When I asked you guys about your favorite stuff, I got some stuff coming with that. That's going to actually use our faces with some of that stuff. So. We're gonna get some stuff. We're gonna get some dope stuff together. I want to try to get it compiled so one of the episodes we can kind of slideshow it for everybody and
if you get it popping. Make a request from me from this young gentleman to make some icons, something like in a PNG file, so we can put it on the website. That'd be great. Not just an image, but like something that I can use, like as a button.
I don't know what any of that means, so you just have to text it to me and then I'll send it to him.
Why are you not in the streets, Jason?
You can just save it.
I did not grow up in Silicon Valley. I did not know about coding.
It needs to be vector, Jason. It needs to be vector. It doesn't.
Yeah, like PNGs or like an SVG is good too.
Oh my god, I have no idea what this all means.
Anything.
All I know is like JPEG.
No, not a JPEG.
JPEG. Yeah, it warps. You need it to where it'll save the
scale,
integrity no matter what you go. That's why I say vector. I like vector, but because that's what I work with. But
I'll just nod my head for the rest of the segment.
God, I thought Jason was black.
This is a nerd show.
I need his black card now. You don't know nothing about how images scale and rotate and rasterization. Get out of here.
Black.
Hard in these streets.
Next
Cody is the new black. My bad. I'm falling behind.
Next thing you know, you're gonna tell me he doesn't wash himself with a washcloth. Get out of here.
Yeah, my wife hates that because she's like, white people use washcloths. I'm like, you as a white person use washcloths.
It's different here. It's different here in the South. It's because because of slavery, we were very close together, so a little things rubbed off on us,
And my wife washes her legs, so that's important that she does wash her legs. I was impressed by that as well.
Get in there and wash them legs.
I don't understand. People don't like. I remember watching this like TikTok about like people talking about how they don't wash their feet.
Yeah, because of gravity.
As a man, I get it. As a black man, I don't get it.
Like, I don't get it. I'm just
like, you gotta wash your feet, man.
No, I can't.
Because they're like, yeah, but the water just runs down and your feet run down.
So
I'm like, nah, partner.
No, you gotta get down there.
Especially white people, y'all gotta wash your feet. I mean, at least when I say white people, I don't include you in the mix.
Fine, I don't take offense. I know I don't count. That's fine.
Yeah, okay, good. I'm glad that's cleared up for the show.
What happens, Lisa? We're saving you first.
White people love to be wearing flip flops everywhere. They don't wash.
Yeah, their feet be dirty as hell.
I do not understand it. Like,
toes be all crusty and
it's just it's weird. Also,
wash your feet.
I was telling Jason and the crew that I upgraded my dadness to the final form. I went and bought some hookah shoes, like hookah, like a shoe brand that's like for like old white men that run all the time. And it's like the most comfortable thing I've ever made in my life. And I'm like I'm gonna knock on Hookah's door and be like, hey, sponsor us so I can just wear these. Like they look like cardboard boxes, but for my feet, and they're so comfortable. It's like final form dad mode.
The final form dad mode shoes are those white Nikes that you get at Walmart for $20.
Well, they're not Nikes. They
are white, Nikes. They have the swoosh on it.
Oh, jeez.
Oh, jeez.
They have the swoosh on it. But if you look at that tag, it don't say Nike on it.
Yeah.
Let me say, I compare them to like what I said, like Dragon Ball Z, where it's like, yeah, the final dad form is probably the New Balance, but then I wouldn't pass Super Saiyan to like Super Saiyan God Saiyan. Yeah, so I have these like $130 pair of shoes on my feet that ain't Jordans, but it feels like I'm walking on a cloud. And I get it now. Why like people are so happy when they have comfortable footwear, it makes their whole life happier. And I realize that's what's wrong in the Black community. We're too busy not trying to crease our Jordans. We're so unhappy because we can't really be comfortable. Right. And that's why we so bad all the time. We all need to get some hookahs, and we'll be happy.
I've walked around some Timbs and them, you will not be happy. Them things are like wearing 90-pound weights on your feet. just can't even pick your feet up. Just trudging along.
just get new comfortable shoes that we don't care about creasing, and we'll all be happy in the community. No one's going to jack me for my hokas. No one's going to jack me for that.
I just want you to know that as a female who never learned the art of wearing heels, and I wore flip-flops to my wedding because I was all about comfort. So I've been living this life forever.
Jason has single-handedly solved all the problems growing up in underserved neighborhoods. It's not the white supremacy in the system. It's bad shoes.
It's the shoes.
Yeah, bad shoes. Bad shoes with too much coating.
Lying to you, telling you when we watch that Air Jordan movie, it all started there. You'll be able to day zero.
Right.
I mean, come to think of it, it does make sense because if you see the Jordan movie, it's starring white people about white people who got shoes for black people.
I know.
It's all connected, man.
Yeah, man.
Yeah.
Yeah, know what
Stay
you're watching.
Woke, brother. Stay woke.
Stay woke. Everything's made up. Stay woke.
Right. You just put that at the end of anything now, and it just flows. Yeah, man. I saw Bigfoot walking down the street the other day. Stay woke. It's like, yeah, he wasn't telling the truth. He said, "Stay woke." You gotta be telling the truth. You say "stay woke," you never lied. So. Oh, okay. I think we've shenaniganed. Oh, any more housekeeping that we just shenanigan through?
Don't let someone shenan once because they'll shenan again.
Yeah.
Womp, womp.
Thank you, Jason.
That's a Twitter or TikTok joke that's been going around.
I'm back on TikTok now. So
yeah, so I can sit on my TikToks.
I came back to 171 messages in my inbox.
I only sent
7 were Jason.
I only sent you 10.
No, yeah, Jason didn't send me a whole lot. One person sent me. I had just like 72 from just one person.
Because I was like, Lisa's not going to see these, so I got to stop sending her these.
So I spent a whole day of my life just catching up on TikTok. The good news is like Jason and then our friend Elise. And then someone else
a lot too.
They send me like a lot of the same ones, so I was just like, okay, already seen it. So that got to a little flow where I was seeing the same videos. So that's good.
Occasionally, Elise and Aaron will send me one that I just sent them.
Yeah, that happened.
Like you didn't check when I sent you
at the same time. It'll be at the same time.
Yeah.
Oh man, did I show you my new?
Oh shit! Look at that.
Ooh.
Oh, that's nice.
Has Phil Lamar's signature on it.
Let me get that.
I got you one, so you're good.
Oh, hey! I knew he loved me.
Oh no, I feel like it'd be an asshole movie. Like, yeah, I got this Static Shock with Phil Lamar's signature on it, and be like, yeah, but I only got one. So I went on and just got the second one, and it's sitting at my house.
Oh, that means
whenever I see you again.
So I'm one of those people. I'm a bad human. I take my pops out.
They're collectibles.
I take them out.
You leave them in the box.
Nope, I want to be able to look at him whenever I want. Sometimes
one day this is going to be worth nothing to anybody but
me.
Did
you never see that episode of Bless the Hearts where she had all the Beanie Babies? Here's another one that my husband had to search for me and everything, and as soon as I got it, I took it out of the box.
Actually,
picked it right out.
I had one for Lisa, but it's on back order. So,
ooh, I can't wait.
My baby daddy Daniel was telling me that Funko Pop is in a lot of business trouble because of just the way that they create these figures. Because sometimes they'll create too many, and like, oh, this is totally gonna sell. They don't sell, and then sometimes they could not enough, and it's just like their whole entire business structure is messed up, and they might go bankrupt.
Everything should be pre-order instead of just mass producing things, and then we would have less waste, and then you would know.
Yeah. But then if everything's pre-order, and you forget that the pre-order happens at 1:00 and not 1:30, you don't get it.
Sorry. Then you get it on eBay for $100.
For like $400. Because some people bought two and they put the next one on eBay, and now it's $350 when it originally was $35.99.
First world problems, Jason. We have to stop mass producing. We have too much shit. Stop mass producing. True. Everything needs to be pre-order,
including babies. Should I get a PS?
That's true. You're not wrong about that one.
I was thinking, should I get a PS5? I'll keep thinking. I feel like I should get one, but I don't know.
I'm an Xbox guy, but
I want one. I've still been searching for an Xbox. For a PlayStation.
I thought you already had a PS5.
No, just a 4.
I
finally just let Logan take the PS4 into his room because he had the PS3 and they like stopped updating everything. And he's like, it literally doesn't do anything. I'm like, fine.
Paperweight.
So now I have no PlayStation.
Nowadays, a lot of games are cross platform, so you can play with anybody regardless of what platform they're playing on. So if you want to play online, it doesn't really matter. But I think you're probably better off with the PS5 because just the games tend to be more likable for more people.
They have better customer service and it's easier interface.
Strong disagree, but
Rebuttal.
Yes.
Benefits Xbox is way better, but that's okay. It is.
You're wrong, but I appreciate your opinion.
But I heard with every Xbox you get, you got to get the vaccine. So I think it turns a lot of people off.
Yeah. Definitely it messes my 5G in my house.
Right. Good old Corona, COVID Bill Gates joke. Never get old. All right, I guess, is that it? Did we get everything we need to hit?
Oh, I think so. Oh, the Renaissance Festival, Ren Fair, whatever it's called, is in town.
On the 15th.
Oh, so right now?
It starts on the 15th.
Week.
Yeah. So that's Saturday.
When are you guys going? Oh, you guys go. When are you guys going?
I don't know. I want to go.
You know what happened? Elise and Aaron, they postponed their baby shower till next week.
Yeah.
So we can go on Sunday.
Well,
if you guys go on Sunday, let me know because I should be down for that.
I don't have enough money.
I don't have to dress up for anything, do I? I can just show up, right?
You can do. This is America. You do whatever.
What?
Nobody cares.
That's not true, Lisa.
If Lisa said it. Look, Lisa, just say "stay woke" after it. So it's
stay woke.
Yeah, there you go. I can do whatever I want now, Jason. It's America.
I just want to be in the car when you get pulled over. You're dressed as a pirate or whatever, and you get pulled over. The cops look at you, look at the cop, and you're just gonna be like, "Just get out the car." And you're like, "Yep."
We'll talk.
Because you get out of my car, but be like, "This is my shit, matey."
They have like theme weekends, so weekend you could do something else, and so I might go. Mother's Day weekend is Pirates weekend, so might go that weekend.
Every time I want to go, I wait too long and it's gone. I'm like, fuck.
No, you need to just go. Just go.
Because it's only for a month and a half.
Yeah.
It's like, it's this month, next month, and it's over by June 4th.
Yep.
Or
we
June
need to
14th.
just go.
So
it's still
like
not very expensive. It's like it's cheaper than Six Flags. I mean, it's like $27 a person or something. It's not
but like a lot of the rides you still have to pay for, but it's still
but I don't ride rides anymore because I don't.
Oh, it's rides in there? Oh, my kids.
They got like some. It's like carnival rides. So that's not really that necessary.
No, but they have like last year we went and saw like glass blowing, and they've been doing it like it's like actual how they've always done glass blowing. So it's like ancient. So it was really cool. Like,
and they got jousting.
And they have jousting.
Sword fights,
and they have like blacksmithery.
They got a black guy named Smith.
Yeah.
I saw at least 3 black people last year when I went. So it's super inclusive.
Super inclusive.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
It was more than 2 black people. That's black. Like, that's what it is.
It's super inclusive. So don't even.
Once it gets past 2, it's a gang at that point. So
I'm surprised they haven't shut it down. Whoa, we can't have this freaknik up in here.
Right.
But no. It's fun. It's a good time. My kids had a blast. We went twice last year.
What's the food like? That's something I care about.
Oh, they got giant turkey legs and beer.
Oh, okay. Well, beer, you sold. Yeah, you should have led with that, my man.
And they have like local. They have like craft beer and like fun. It's super.
How do you not want a giant turkey leg?
Yeah. What about mead? Do they have any mead?
Leg? They have mead.
Yeah.
And then,
in fact, a meadery in Atlanta has a party bus that goes from the meadery to the Renaissance Festival. Yeah.
Ooh.
And back again.
Yeah.
I can get hammered off some mead and enjoy my life.
They have a beer. They have a beer crawl.
Oh wow!
My buddy Kyle is like, fuck mead right now. Meat is disgusting. If he gets it drunk, I don't give a fuck.
Yeah,
I love some good meat. I don't like the harsh stuff. I like the sweet, flowery, and fruity stuff. And I like to drink it, and it just runs down my face.
Oh, okay, yeah. They got
as he eats a handful of grapes, he's like, ah.
They have like the boot, like the big boot that you can drink out of. They have the boot, and then they have the big like Viking horn, and then
oh wow, all this shit costs money though, so just come with your credit card.
Ooh,
it's expensive.
It's not free. It's not free.
Oh, I assume that.
So.
Nothing is.
Okay, y'all. So if y'all want us to go to the Renaissance Festival, and
we could do some live.
We could do some stuff, and that'd be fun for our socials. So let us know.
We can ask black people, why'd y'all come here? This is not for us.
This is not for us. There were no black people back then.
There were no black people in medieval times. What are you talking about?
Just
they're new. They're new to the world.
Did not exist.
Yeah, once the first pair of Jordans hit the market, we just appeared out of nowhere. It's ground zero.
just look at him, just stunned, just flexing these Jordans.
The fact is, Michael Jordan was the first black person ever.
Yes, facts.
Stay woke.
There you go. Stay woke. It's true.
If you're a certain age, you could probably believe it. Like, oh. Yes, like if you're like a kid, you're like, all right, that makes sense to me.
Listen, the ADHD is strong with us. Let's
all right. Thanks everybody so very much. Lisa, any closing words for us?
Shop local. Another store in downtown Lawrenceville closed down. So please, it's like a little like knick-knacky store. It's right next to my yoga place. No one likes
knick-knacks anyway.
I just gave him an evil face, just so y'all know. If you join our Patreon, you'll see it. Support independent businesses, support Black-owned businesses, and yes,
this one. Jason, any final words?
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, I went to Sweet Brown Sugar Baby. Got some more treats up in the house, so they did allow me to take a video of in there inside the store, so I'll be putting that up on Headcanon and on my own individual socials. So definitely check them out. If you do go in there, it's in Georgia, Grayson. Tell them that Jason and Headcanon Circus said you. I mean, you probably won't get no discount, but at least
They'll be like, oh, okay.
Yeah. Thank you. What would you like though?
That's gonna be full price,
right? It's really dope. But like Lisa said earlier, we do have new logos and all that stuff coming, which means that we're gonna have merch coming. So start saving your pennies, putting them together so you can support us and get some merch, and then we could all look cool and fly together when we have some big event one day, and we can be like, oh, look at all the merch everybody's wearing.
Is on fleek a thing that people still say? We can all look on fleek.
I can see that.
They do now.
I mean,
we're trendsetters. Duh.
No,
we have 3 people watching us. We're practically viral.
Bring back old sayings. On fleek, everybody. We're on fleek. Yeah, thanks everybody. Once again, please like, share, subscribe, do all those good things. And also be kind, considerate, and tip your servers and bartenders at least 20%, if not more, if you can afford it. And if you see Jared on the street, that song is not good. It isn't. That's what I'm going to say.
Peachy, peachy, peach.
It's not good. It's just dumb. I'm sorry. Bye.
Bye, everybody.